Good afternoon, Mr. Frederick. Mr. Bayless Frederick. How are you doing, sir?
Good afternoon, sir. I'm doing pretty stable. Perhaps it's best put that way. That is, I'm hanging on at 79, 97 years old. I'm looking forward to another perhaps 10 years.
10 years.
Yes.
That's pretty specific. Eh?
Yes, 10 years because I have some grandchildren and they are at an age now where when they look back and see this, they consider the state of the nation, they will remember that their grandfather was a lawyer and did nothing and said nothing, because St. Vincent is not headed, it is in a tailspin that is, you cannot reverse it. It's doomed. St. Vincent is doomed if something is not done to correct the tailspin. St. Vincent is floundering and there is no help visible, no help foreseeable, because I condemn the lawyers in this country because of the attitude to the welfare and prosperity and health of this nation. And I do so because so many things are going wrong and nobody wants to lift their voice. Nobody is lifting their voice to say, to tell the people or to advise the people how to do, what to do, why to do. They tell them nothing. And they are lawyers who live in the community, of the community, and do nothing for the community in the sense of guiding the community to a safe sort of future. And I lament that. Presently, at least up to the present time I'm sitting here now, I understand that they have arrested some, and I dare say that they are innocent. They have arrested some people who they dislike. And St. Vincent has arrived at the stage today that if they don't like you, look out, you're going to get arrested for some nonsense or other. In my own personal case, they've taken me to court. They have arrested me about 3 or 4 times here in St. Vincent, and I have done nothing. I have never been convicted of anything because I attended court in St. Vincent on many occasions when all that the prosecutor said, Mr. Frederick, you're free to go. Why? Because I have done nothing. I have committed no crime. I have done absolutely nothing. But I ended up being arrested. Arrested for what? And they're still doing it today. And the lawyers in this country don't say a word. I am too old to go to stand up in a court to argue over 15 minutes. I am 97 years old. I'm too old. But you get no young fellows coming up now to stand up with a cause for helping St. Vincent. They look for money or they look for I don't know what, but no help for the poor people who get arrested for nothing, who get arrested with no prospect of compensation, nothing at all.
I have 2 questions for you, sir. You started earlier saying that St. Vincent is in a tailspin. I would love for you to explore some of the symptoms of this tailspin that you're observing. And also to tell me a little bit of why exactly are you saying that these lawyers are silent throughout all that it is that you're observing?
Sir, the tailspin is obvious to a blind man with wooden spectacles. The tailspin is obvious to every little child that walks the streets of St. Vincent. Long ago, they used to walk and play. Now they walk in apprehension and look around. You only have to look around in St. Vincent. Go to the market, look at the market, go to anywhere, walk, and you will see that St. Vincent is not the St. Vincent of, say, 10, 20 years ago. It's not. What has happened is St. Vincent has turned itself. No, not it turned itself, has been turned by the circumstances, particularly in the law enforcement and judicial area, turned itself into a virtually unlivable state. Just now, you will find people running away from St. Vincent just to get away from fear. Fear of the tomorrow. Fear of what could happen to you tonight. Fear is what stalks this country now. And no, you don't have to sort of recount anything. Just look around. Just look at the court. Just look around anywhere. And you will see the evidence right staring you in the face. No, nobody stops to think about the welfare of the people. The people. The Constitution of St. Vincent tried to create a state, in which the preamble to the Constitution has set out what the Constitution is supposed to accomplish. A state that is democratic, a state in which the average citizen is comfortable and feeling comfortable in his day-to-day living, feels protected by the law, feels that he need not be afraid of anything, because not only will the law protect him, but the whole hearing of St. Vincent is for his protection and his well-being. Indeed, it is recorded that the state of St. Vincent should become a free, democratic, peace-loving state. But it is not so now. What is happening there, Lord, is heartrending. My dear sir, what sort of world we live in, what sort of thing we live in, when we do look that even the religious aspects of things are of no import nowadays. Nobody bothers about what the good book says. Nobody bothers about that. We are born into this world. We didn't ask to come. We didn't ask to be who we are. We were born with no knowledge. We were given five senses, that is all. And we were put upon this planet. And here we are on this planet. We meet the planet as it is. And what we become on this planet is what the planet has taught us. It is what the administration, the people who run things, the people who exercise power, the people who sort of govern the state in the interest of the governed, in the interest of the inhabitants of the state. It is those people that have caused what the citizens have turned out to be. Because, look, there is no other way that you learn, because you came with nothing in your brain, nothing in your mind, unable to think. But whatever you get to learn, whatever you get to do, and you can only do what you know. You cannot do what you do not know. And everything that you get to know, it is produced by those who look after you. The home, the state, the everything, the schools, the whatever man put together. This is what teaches the new birth. And when the new birth reaches maturity, after the age of, say, 18, 20, 21, after you get to those ages, you come to realize that you are dissatisfied, you are disappointed, you do not know if to run, to jump, to think. You are in competition with your grandmother and your grandfather for a daily bread. And when you're in competition for a daily bread, you look around and you start to think about stealing, and you start to think about committing all the contrary advice given to you. The rules don't mean anything to you, and you end up being harassed by the police, put in jail, or you suffer. You suffer. You do not live, you exist, and you exist fighting to resist the fear giving dictates of those who are in charge. The state of St. Vincent today is the result of what they did the day before, because you do not know the future, and whatever you do today is because of what is in the past, what you were taught, the education revolution, what it has produced. What has it produced, oh good God, for St. Vincent? St. Vincent is a state where the lack of knowledge is the standard thing today. People do not know, they do not understand, because the new education revolution that's adore the use of big words, the big words which nobody in the state understands, not even the people who administer the country know the meaning of a lot of words that they are saying, because they do not take the very thing of the preamble to the Constitution. Good God, the preamble spells out exactly what should happen here in St. Vincent. The preamble sets out exactly what to do. The preamble brings you aware that you cannot change the Constitution, and they are changing it every minute of the day. Every minute of the day, you are changing the Constitution, and nobody says anything. It is sad. It is terribly, terribly sad.
Finally, what should we do to be saved?
So there's only one thing to do for St. Vincent, you know, and you've got to talk to the people. You've got to change the people. You've got to change the thinking of the people, and you've got to change the thinking of the people by re-educating them. You've got to educate the people so that they could understand what is going on around them, because the things that are going on around them, they cannot understand why it is. For example, the Constitution says that they must account to you for the money that you pay in taxes and so on, and nobody bothers with the Constitution in that regard. They do not tell you anything, and if you query, they look to lock you up. Good God, we're in a hell of a state here, sir. To do, you got to re-educate the people. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for this live chat.